Imagine you were offered a time machine and told you could go back to 2010 to buy Amazon stock at $100. You'd be nuts to say no, right? Well, in 2024, Palantir, PLTR, is that time machine. Right now, skeptics are trying to possibly short the stock, dismiss its potential, or claim it's overvalued, but guess what? They're making one of the biggest investing mistakes of the decade. Palantir is not just another AI company, it's becoming the operating system of the future for governments, corporations, and military operations. And yet, some investors are still on the sidelines, thinking it's too expensive. Let me tell you why that's a mistake and why not owning Palantir is like willingly giving up on life-changing money. Think of Palantir like Iron Man's Jarvis, but for the real world. Governments use it for national security, hospitals use it for patient management, and companies use it to make billions in strategic decisions. Yet, Wall Street still isn't fully pricing in the scale of its future dominance. Palantir's Gotham and Foundry platforms are already used by the U.S. military, Fortune 500 companies, and law enforcement agencies, but we're only scratching the surface. The same way Microsoft became the essential software for possibly every office in the world, Palantir is on track to become the core intelligence software of every major institution on the planet. Let's go back to 1999. Microsoft was the king of tech. Then came the dot-com bubble, and everyone said, "Oh no. Microsoft is overvalued." The stock crashed, and it took 12 years for Microsoft to reach its former highs again. Fast forward to today, and Microsoft is worth nearly $3 trillion. Here's the funny part, if you had just held on to Microsoft instead of panicking, you'd be filthy rich right now. Palantir might be going through the same, too expensive, narrative, but the long-term upside is astronomical. If you're focused only on today's price, you're preparing to miss a life-changing investment opportunity. Some critics argue that Palantir is overpriced. Guess what? So was Amazon possibly at $300. So was Tesla possibly at $80. And where are they now? The greatest companies always seem overvalued until they prove everyone wrong. Palantir has an unbreakable moat in AI, data security, and government contracts. These aren't just normal revenue streams, they're the most reliable, long-term cash cows in existence. You think the US government is going to drop Palantir for a startup that just popped up last year? Not a chance. So yes, Palantir is expensive today. But in 5 years, today's prices will look like a steal. The United States is going possibly all in on AI and defense tech. The Pentagon, intelligence agencies, and private companies are desperate for AI-powered solutions that actually work. Now, ask yourself, would you rather trust your national security to Palantir or some random tech startup? That's why Palantir isn't just another AI company, it's America's go-to software for decision-making in defense, healthcare, and business. While competitors like Snowflake, Salesforce, and MongoDB are possibly fighting for commercial customers, Palantir is locked in with the US government, and that's a customer that never stops paying. By the way, if you are benefiting from the content so far and want more like this, hit the subscribe button, turn on the notifications bell, and comment the word more. Just go ahead and type the word more so I know. Now that you've commented, let's continue. Dan Ives, a well-known Wall Street analyst, raised his price target for Palantir to $90, up from $75. That's about 19% upside. But honestly, he might be playing it safe. Palantir is on a winning streak. It's securing massive contracts, rolling out cutting-edge AI products, and proving its dominance in defense tech. If momentum continues, $90 could come sooner than expected, possibly even before Q4 earnings on February 3rd. Why Palantir could hit $90 before Q4 earnings? AI spending is exploding, the AI gold rush is still in its early stages. Governments and corporations are increasing their AI budgets, and Palantir is the best AI stock not named NVIDIA. Palantir has been raking in deals from governments and Fortune 500 companies alike. These contracts are sticky, long-term, and recession-proof. Last quarter, Palantir crushed expectations. If it keeps growing at this pace, Q4 earnings could be the catalyst that sends it soaring past $90. As the stock climbs, more investors will pile in, driving momentum higher. Once Wall Street realizes what Palantir is truly worth, the upside will be explosive. Investing in Palantir today is like buying Microsoft before Windows became a household name. You can either get in now and watch your wealth multiply, or you can sit on the sidelines, regret it in 5 years, and pay 10x the price later. Sure, the stock might look expensive today, but that's what they said about Amazon, Tesla, and Nvidia, too. And look at them now. Every once in a while, a company comes along that completely changes the game. Microsoft did it with personal computing. Amazon did it with e-commerce. Tesla did it with electric vehicles. Now, Palantir is doing it with AI-driven decision-making. The question is, are you going to be an early investor, or will you wait until it's too obvious? Right now, Palantir is at a critical inflection point. It's transitioning from a misunderstood, government-focused software company into one of the most powerful AI-driven platforms in the world. And Wall Street still doesn't get it. Despite what some skeptics say, big investors are loading up on Palantir shares. Here's why: government contracts are possible recession-proof. Unlike consumer-focused tech companies that suffer when the economy slows down, Palantir thrives in uncertain times. Wars, cyber threats, and AI adoption all work in its favor. AI is the future, and Palantir is at the center of it. While companies like OpenAI and Google possibly focus on chatbots, Palantir is building AI for real-world problem-solving, from military strategy to corporate decision-making. Commercial growth is just getting started. For years, Palantir was seen as a government contractor. But now, commercial adoption is accelerating, and it's becoming the go-to software for some of the biggest companies in the world. CEO Alex Karp is playing 4D chess. Love him or hate him, Alex Karp doesn't care about short-term Wall Street noise. He's building a company for the next decade, not just the next quarter, and that's exactly what long-term investors should want. If you think $90 is where Palantir's story ends, think again. Back in 2019, Tesla was trading at around $15, split adjusted. At the time, possibly analysts laughed at the idea of Tesla hitting $1,000 per share. Fast forward to today, and Tesla shattered every expectation, proving that disruptive companies always look overvalued before they dominate. Palantir could follow a similar trajectory. If it continues to dominate AI-driven analytics and secures larger commercial contracts, $90 will look like a joke in hindsight. Let's imagine, for a second, that Palantir somehow disappears overnight. What happens? The US military loses its top AI-powered decision-making tool. Fortune 500 companies are suddenly flying blind without Palantir's data intelligence. Governments worldwide lose one of their most powerful national security assets. Sounds insane, right? That's because Palantir is already too embedded in the world's most critical institutions. Palantir isn't a startup hoping to make it big. It's already big. And betting against it is like betting against the internet in the early 2000s. It's our privilege that God, the creator of heaven and earth, will bless us abundantly, make us the head and not the tail if we love him and obey his commandments. Please acknowledge him in your plans and he will direct your paths. Proverbs 3 verses 5 to 6. Want more information? Check the description section. Alright, beloved friends, that's the end for now. If you have watched until the end, drop a comment like this: I stayed until the end. Just comment that I stayed until the end. When I see this comment, I will give you a heart. There are 3 more important steps to build wealth. First, like this video, subscribe and then turn on the notifications bell. If you do this, you highly motivate me to continue bringing to you educative and transformative videos every week. Do not miss out on our future videos full of knowledge and wisdom. All I am asking is your subscription. Thanks for joining us today. Your support is appreciated so much. Do not hesitate to share this video to help someone. I recommend that you watch the next video, subscribe to the channel and share your thoughts about today's video. Thank you. See you in the next video by God's grace. We love you, and blessings to you.